got some really sad news, Nate, and unfortunately, this we have to report this. We don't like reporting anything like these. So Grand Canyon senior guard basketball player Oscar Frayer, he passed away. Him, his sister, and a third person in the car. They passed away due to a car accident. Um, Before I explain what happened in the accident, Nate, I just want to take a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, so basically what happened was I'm gonna read it right now on the way it says it on ESPN. So, according to local authorities, this is where the information comes from. A California Highway Patrol vehicle that was struck from behind by the car that Freya was in. This happened at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, but that's not how he died. It was struck from behind, from the back, and then his car hit a tree, and then the car ended up getting engulfed in flames. It just went up in flames, and that's how he died. The officers, they were transported to a local hospital with major injuries, but doctors and the highway patrol, they said they're expected to survive. And this was reported by Myron Medcalf. So you know what, Nate? Let me start off first, okay? Because I got some quotes here, okay? And I feel like this it explains the type of person that Oscar was. So this quote right here was from the school, and they said, and I quote, "On the court, Oscar was known as the high flyer. It will be remembered for his soaring dunks, tenacious defense, and game-changing block shots. Off the court, he will be remembered for his infectious smile, energetic spirit, and caring soul that made him one of the most well-liked students on our campus." And then head coach of Grand Canyon, Bryce Drew, he said, and I quote, "We love O. He was the heartbeat of our team with his vibrant, energetic personality. I cannot put into words the hurt and sadness we all feel, but we know he is in heaven, and that gives us great joy to know we will be together again." And in excuse me for a second. In Freyer's last message to his team on Twitter, he said, "It's forever love." So yeah, Nate, let me start off with this first. Let me tell you something. We talk about like athletes getting into crimes and everything, and that is like the second worst thing that we got to report, in my opinion. You might think differently. You might have a different opinion, Nate, but in my opinion, I feel like debts like these right here are like the worst thing for us to report.
Yeah, I agree.
Why? Because they shouldn't be happening. I mean, we're talking about a senior. He's only 23 years old, Nate. You know, like it's crazy to think about. He's only 23 years old, and then this happens to him, and unfortunately, this happens. And fate is the way fate is, and like people, like I believe, like when your time comes, that's when you're gonna die. Like there's no avoiding it or anything like that. But this is just really sad news. It really is, especially for a player who is as good as him. Like I mean, when you look at how his teammates portrayed him and viewed him, not only on the court but off the court, it is really something sad to hear. You know, and with that being said, like may all the people, him and his sister and the third person in that car, may they rest in peace. Condolences to the family and loved ones that lost him. Obviously, this is a very sad thing. But yeah, I can't. The way he died, I just feel like that is like one of the worst ways to go out. I just feel like it's one of the worst ways to go out, just going out in flames. I feel like nobody should be able to go out that way. And look, man, I don't know exactly what caused the car accident or like who was driving or whatever. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't in that car accident, so I couldn't. So I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you exactly what happened. But like you said, the car hit a car from behind, and then it went into a tree. This is why me and you, we promote safe driving. This is why we're saying drive safe. This is why you were on a hot mic with Isaiah Wilson when he got into the minor car accident that he had, because you just never know. You know, like even though and this is a perfect example. Like if people want to be selfish, if people want to be selfish of like, oh, nothing can happen to me in the car, because there are people who are like that. They just drive recklessly because they feel like nothing could happen to them in the car. Take this as an example right here. Okay, don't ever say nothing can happen to you in a car. You know, don't say that, because let me tell you something. If you get into a worse accident, it could. This is why we promote safe driving. And on top of that, even if nothing did happen to you in that car, look at the passenger. The passenger's dead. The third person in the car is dead. Look at the officers got major injuries. Like this is not a good accident for anybody, you know, especially everybody who died. Like this is why I promote safe driving. Now I'm not now again. I just want to say this real clear, okay, before comments try to grill us. I'm not sure how this accident was caused. Okay, what we know is the car hit the patrol car from the back, went into a tree, and it went up in flames. We don't know exactly what happened. You know, I believe if it was, I think if there was an additional factor which like he couldn't control and it caused his car to crash, then like I think that they would like look. I think that the actual article would tell us, you know. But I mean, to be honest with you, Nate, like this is why we tell people to be safe. You know, this is exactly why. Because stuff like this should not like accidents like this. Like these are accidents we wish would never happen because we never want to see somebody. We never want to see somebody, you know, die this way. No matter who you are, whether you're famous or not, we don't want to see people die this way, like engulfed in flames. Um, One thing I do want to mention though, getting off the topic about safe driving, the school will hold a celebration of life service at the Grand Canyon University Arena on Tuesday to honor Frayer and those in the GCU community who have died during this academic year. So that is something good. Like that's something that I commend Grand Canyon University on. Um, but yeah, Nate, the whole like moral story is like to everybody, please drive safe. You know, like that, please drive safe because whether you believe your car is the safest car to drive in or you feel like you're the perfect driver, please drive safe because you just never know. And there are certain instances and there are certain cases where you just like where accidents aren't even your fault and people die, you know? Like I mean, like personally, when it comes to car accidents and people dying in car accidents, that like has like a soft spot in my heart. And the reason why is because what do you call it? Like about a good 11 years ago, 12 years ago, my older cousin, his name was Joey. He died in a car accident. He was 21 years old. His car hydroplated and it hit a telephone pole. So like certain like stories like these, they do have like a soft part in my heart. But this is why like we promote safe driving, so stuff like that doesn't happen. You know, like it's just and like that's and honestly, Nate, like I think I covered basically everything I needed to cover about this story. Obviously, it's a very, very sad thing. Again, may Oscar Frayer, his sister, and the third person in the car, may they rest in peace and condolences to the family. You know.
Yeah, I'll pick up from there. May Oscar Fryer, his sister, and the other person rest in peace. It's very, very sad to hear about this. And I'm sorry about your cousin too, but yeah, almost a year ago, I was in a car accident myself. The driver, who was my friend, he wasn't paying attention. He was looking at his phone trying to change music, and oddly enough, next second later, the whole freaking front of the car is gone because he smashed into the back of an SUV. You know what I mean? Like you guys seriously need to be careful when you're behind the road. Enough of these things, all right? See this? What is this? It's a phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put it in your pocket, you put it in the center console, you put it in the glove compartment. I don't care. Keep it out of your sight. Put that away. You got drinks in the car, you got drugs in the car, get that out. You don't need that either. Your eyes need to focus on the road. I don't care what's around you. Well, I do actually. I don't care what's behind you. Don't worry about the drivers behind you. Worry about what's ahead of you. That's where a lot of the action's taking place. You know what I mean? Um, and yeah, I was on the hot mic there, and I had a very good reason to because something like this did happen to me and a lot of other people. And unfortunately, some of them, unlike me and a lot of other people, never got the chance to live to tell the tale. And Oscar Frayer is unfortunately one of those guys. Now, obviously, I'm going to go what Mario says. We don't know how this happened. So I'm not going to
Right.
go out there and make theories about what was going on or whatever. I'm not going to do that because out of respect for the Frayer and his family and his teammates or whatever. So I'm not going to do that. But like I talked about this before, like, and it's not even just drivers being selfish because they are. Some of them think that because they drive a car that's brand new and it has all this tech with 360-degree cameras. Every car has that these days, depending on which one you get. Blind spot monitoring system. It has the auto stop feature. If a pedestrian comes too close to your car, it'll just stop right for you and things like that. Other people do it because they got so much horsepower under the hood that they think that the speed racer and they can go off on the normal roads and drive like they're the greatest driver on earth. You know what I mean? There's so many factors to that. Other drivers think that they got a Tesla, they got autopilot, which that's not accurate. Some new Cadillac owners got Super Cruise, so they drive on the highway without feet on the pedal and the hands on the steering wheel because it does all that for them. That's it's not even just them being selfish. Sometimes people rely way too much on the tech, and I feel like a lot of times that does get them into accidents. You know what I mean? But that's just me. You guys may have a different opinion on what, and I would really like to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your comments on that. But again, I'm not gonna speculate on how this happened or because I don't want to make theories, especially with a death in this. But moral of the story, like Mario said, drive safely, be aware of your surroundings.
Right.
It just sucks because so many people are, and you're right, there are many people that are selfish, even though people that don't have those kind of tech are still pretty selfish. When
Right.
it comes to driving behind the wheel, they'll look at the phone, they'll drive recklessly because they think they're cool, or they're just some, high school kid that just got their license and oh yeah, let me get all the boys in the car out of the damn sunroof and oh let's go 60 down the damn road. 60 120. But man, I'm guilty as hell of that, but look, that's not the point. The point is that you guys gotta stay safe on the road. I do wish you guys please stay safe on the roads. If you guys are drivers out
Right.
there, make sure you're aware of your surroundings, you do the right thing, stay off the damn phones. I can't stand it when I'm driving with somebody on the phone. I have to yell at them, get off the damn phone, because I don't feel safe if they're on their phone while driving.
Right.
And if you're a
And
passenger, I do urge you tell your driver to do that. But with that being said,
right.
I do wish Oscar Frayer, may he rest in peace. His sister and the other passenger, may they rest in condolences to their family. Condolences to the Grand Canyon basketball team. And yeah, moral of the story, guys, please stay out
Right.
there and stay safe.
Right. And before you end this recording, Nate, a couple pieces of information I feel like is really important. So he is a senior, and I did want to say that he did graduate this year, and he received his degree in communications. And not only that, Nate, I think this is the like, cause, and I just want to say that because that has like some little connection with me, considering the fact that I'm a communications major. And last but not least, Nate, this is what I find the most fascinating thing about this whole article. Okay, so Freya was raised by his mother after his father died in a car accident at age 7 when he was 7 years old.
Wow,
Like
that's crazy.
his Twitter bio says, "Rest in peace, Dad." Like
That's sad.
it is. It's really unfortunate, especially to go out that same way. Like that's what I'm saying. I think this is like I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is one of the most heartbreaking stories that we had to cover.
Yeah,
To
it
be honest
is.
with
It
you,
most
we're talking
definitely is.
about a good basketball player who's very good, kind soul, had a what do you call it? Had a good head on his shoulders. Spent 4 years in college and graduated with a degree in communications, and goes out late. And he goes out in like one of the worst ways that we've ever reported this year. So I just wanted to mention those two things. So with that being said, may his sister, and the third person in the car, may they rest in peace. Condolences to their families and loved ones. And hey, just know that you're in our hearts.